right, hey, ain't nobody in here yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, oh, there's one person. So thank you for joining. Hope you're having a great Saturday. So what I'm going to talk about, and I should have had my computer going, is the narcissist knows what they're doing. I put question marks there. So really, does the narcissist know what they're doing? For instance, do they know that they're hurting people? Do they know that they're causing, contributing to maybe mental illness in some of their people? My answer to that is going to be real simple. So guys, as you come on in, don't forget to hit that like button and to interact with me as we're talking, because this is a conversation. So I'm not here talking by myself. So my theory is that the narcissist clearly knows what they're doing. What inspired me to do this video is because I was on somebody else's channel, and this lady, she was talking about narcissism. And somebody came in her comment and was telling her, oh, forgive because they don't know what they do. Now, the woman whose channel it was not talking about any unforgiveness, no resentment. She was just sharing her channel because her channel is about narcissism. So, of course, what is she talking about on her channel? She's talking about narcissism. So, out of nowhere, somebody that has in their tag name, the Lord Jesus, Christian, something like that. It's like, oh, they don't know what they do. You should just forgive. Don't hold any resentment in your heart. And so that's what I want to talk about. So just as far as my background goes, and like I said, as you all coming in, go ahead and hit that like button. Just from my experience, these people know what they do. And I'm just going to give you some examples. So watching while cooking dinner, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. So look, this is the reason, yeah, have a good evening too, thank you. So this is the reason why I said they know what they do. For instance, I had a narc tell me, I was going on a trip with some other ladies, right? And then the group of ladies wanted us to put all of our money in the pot. We were driving from the north to the south, and they were like, let's just put all of our money together, so this way when we need food, we can all just buy it out of the pot we're going to have, and then we can also pay for the gas out of this pot. And my thing was, because I didn't have always good relations with other people, for the most part, yeah, but because I was had experienced the narcissism, I was trained to allow people to walk over me, and that's what I was doing, you know. So I didn't have a good history of standing up for myself. So I already knew. I was like, I'm not putting my money in the pot with nobody. You know, when we need gas, I will get out my wallet, take out my money, and give it to you. But I don't trust y'all to put my money in a pot and somebody else gonna watch over it. Like, who holding the pot? No, thank you, okay? And so I was telling my mom about that, like I didn't want to do that. And so she was like, oh, well, you know, this is why people aren't going to want to be around you if you're acting like that. Nobody's going to want to invite you on trips anymore. And I'm like going back and forth, because this is when I did think that I had to explain things to the narcissist, that apparently I wasn't making myself clear. See, that's where that confusion comes in. Like, we don't believe that the narcissist knows what they're doing. Like, of course they know. Did they bump their head as a child? Do they have some kind of cognitive deficit? Were they in some type of special education courses where they aren't able to understand what we are saying? We're all speaking the same language. Why would it? And so I'm encouraging you to ask yourself that question. When you run across people who can never seem to understand you, never understand why you're upset with what they've done, you've told them time after time, and they're always like confused, like, these people are not slow. So of course they understand, guys. We have to stop being naive, thinking they don't understand. This stuff is intentional. And you know, and we are setting ourselves up for failure and further abuse. Yes, that you're right. The Sunflower Empress, that they're playing dumb, and I like that you say play, because that's exactly what it is. It's not a lot of you all in here, but go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If what I'm saying is resonating with you, ain't gonna hurt you to hit that thumbs up. You getting a free video, you getting free game. I'm giving you information from mental health background and my personal background. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. I ain't gonna take nothing away from y'all if y'all just hit that thumbs up. Don't just be lurking and don't no participation and just I ain't gonna hit that thumbs up. That may help her in a way. Come on, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys for getting the thumbs up. So, but yeah, so I'm going back and forth with my mom because at the time I didn't get that this was a game. She was playing with me and I'm like, yes. Why that's stupid? Why would I put my money in a pot? Blah, 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 blah. And then I started noticing she was smirking. Y'all know what that narcissistic smirk is. It's something crazy like I got you, I'm playing games with you, I'm getting you all emotional, you're losing self-control, and now I'm happy with that. You know, they do this smirk thing. And then she got to the point, the more I was justifying myself, and that's another problem I see with some of us who have gone through this trauma and narcissistic abuse, constantly justifying ourselves. And so she's like, I asked her, I just stopped going back and forth with her, and so I just straight up asked her, I said, so if you were going on a road trip, you would turn your money over to somebody else? And she was like, heck no, I won't turn my money over to somebody else. What I look like? And I said, well, why are you going back and forth with me to turn my money over and you wouldn't even do it? Then she ain't had nothing to say. She just laughed. And that's when I started to see she know exactly what she doing. So the thing is, these people love that control. They like to be able to, if you're happy, they get a kick out of making you unhappy. You know, they want to see you unsettled. That makes them happy. And some of us that are not wired that way, we don't get it. And this is the point that makes us naive. Not that we're just dumb and just totally gullible. It's because we just don't know. Because who would actually conceive in their head that there's people who get pleasure out of making your life a living hell? And this is what they do. And when the point that you start understanding, changing your worldview, knowing that not everybody is like you. Oh, no, they're not. If you're giving, you're helpful, you're empathetic, kind, nice, whatever it is, not everybody is like you. Some people look at you as like, what, a lick. I think somebody said, a stain or whatever. I don't know. Y'all be listening to some other stuff trying to understand people that's younger than me. I don't want to be the old fuddy-duddy. But anyway, you can be out here lacking, y'all. You getting yourself set up by people that's just straight piranhas. They just want to do some evil to you. Yeah, the Sunflower Empress says kind souls don't operate that way. Evil souls do. Yes. And like I say with Jordan Peterson, I used to love his classroom college lectures, because he said the reason why not everybody develops PTSD, like if you're exposed to some situation where you feel that you might die, or you learn that something horrific happened to somebody you love, that could cause PTSD, but it don't in all people. And he said the reason not everybody develops PTSD, including soldiers, he said people that have a naive worldview are the ones that get PTSD. The people who are like, there's everybody that's good. There's good in everybody. You just got to find that good. Oh, you're not looking deep enough for that love. Oh, you got to search that love out. It's some kindness and goodness to everyone. People like that are more likely to develop the PTSD because they don't understand that there's evil lurking in this world. They don't understand that some people will stab you in the back if they get the chance. They don't understand that some people will shoot you and go to sleep at night and be okay and sleep like a baby. Some of us, we say, well, how can you sleep at night? I just know you can't sleep at night. Stop. That's where you're wrong. These people are not you. Some people do evil and sleep good at night. Just because you don't sleep good at night, that's you. Your moral is built different. You're a different spiritual being than that person is. Somebody can rob an old lady, smack her down and beat the heck out of her and take all her money and go home and go kiss their mama on the cheek and be just fine. And you may be thinking, I could never do that. That's wrong. People shouldn't be like that. So what if they shouldn't be like that? They are like that. So the thing is that I've learned that a spot of healing is really accepting people as they are. And we know that Maya Angelou saying, when people show you who they are, believe it. People post it all over social media. They got all these great sayings about how to spot these wicked people who mean you no good, and trust when they show you who they are. You better believe it. But is that just something you're saying and posting, or do you actually live by that? Because if you live by that and not just posting it because it sounds good in theory, you would understand that there's evil people out here and there's people that's rejoicing. So yeah, my mother was definitely like, nah, she was just sending me off because she saw how emotional I was getting, that I was arguing back and forth from her. She was getting supply from that and she liked it. She wouldn't have even put her money in that group potluck or whatever they were trying to do, you know. Let me see. The Sunflower Empress says, my mother would make fun of how I slept light and terribly for years, and she sleeps hard and deeply because has no remorse. Right, these people aren't like us, you know, and we have to start accepting that. And I know some people like get upset when they hear the word accept. Well, why do I have to accept? Life shouldn't be this way, and they shouldn't have done this, and they shouldn't have and they shouldn't be that way. Grow up. Grow up. People are who they are, and you cannot change these people. So yes, these people know that they are hurting you. They don't care. And because the thing is, for instance, you can keep telling a person over and over and over again, when you say this to me, it hurts me. I don't like it. A person who actually is genuine, kind, and wants the best for you is going to be like, oh, wow. You know, all of us hurt when we get some, maybe most of us, I said, when we get some feedback to show that we ain't all perfect like we thought we were. So the person may be a little stung for a second, but after they reflect on it, they come back and be like, oh, right, you know, I was wrong, or I didn't know that was hurting you, but now you told me that, I'm going to back off. I ain't going to do that no more. And if I do, check me, and then I'm going to make sure, you know, I'm not going to do that. Somebody who don't care about you and know that they're hurting you but just don't care, they're gonna flip that thing on you. You will start telling them how you don't like what they're doing, it's paining you. That person, you think they're gonna care? They'd be like, oh, you're too sensitive. Anybody that tells you that you're too sensitive, trust me, this is big manipulation right there, okay? Yes, we all were Camille Jackson, that super naive person, you know. If we tell the truth, most of us, if we're watching these type of videos. Y'all, I'm hot. I'm trying not to turn on that fan because it's going to make too much noise. But yeah. So, and make sure if you're liking this content, you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also in the description section, if you want to get my books, they're on Amazon. You can get those books. And if you want to book a session with me to talk about narcissism, how it's affected you, trauma, how to move past that trauma. If you just need somebody to listen to you to help process, you can book with me in the section there. And I also put my VisiBook link in the community section. So yeah, and I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, anytime these people are telling you basically you just need to get over it, you're too sensitive, this lets you know that they hear you. They don't have any cognitive delays, cognitive deficits. They're not mentally impaired. Nothing's wrong with them. Basically, what they said is, I heard you. I don't give a damn about you. And if you're dumb enough to stay around while I keep doing to you what you told me not to do, then that is on you. Okay? It is on you. At a certain age with grown people, you shouldn't have to keep telling them over and over and over again what your standards are. Because you need to understand that they do not care. And if you're staying around with them and you're over a certain age and out of your parents' house, you're not financially dependent on them, you're making a choice to continue to go through whatever abuse they're putting you through. And then if you want to keep on saying that, oh, I don't know why they're doing it, I don't know if it's a mistake. How many times has this happened to you? I mean, how many times can be a mistake? Y'all help me out. Once or twice is a mistake. This person is still punching you in the eye, hitting you on top of the head, spitting on you, going off on your smear campaign, doing all kind of stuff over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you still sitting back, is it just me? Or is there something wrong with this person? Come on, guys. We gotta be smarter than that. Let's see. You say it's too sensitive. You see me. They say that when you're turned in and called it out. Yeah, when you call something out, they all of a sudden they want to turn it around like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Come on. Another way you can tell these people know what they're doing, that they mean to hurt you, because you will see if you watch them close enough that they don't treat everybody with disrespect. They treat people with disrespect who tolerate it. Now you may say, Samyra, I stand up to them. I raise my voice. I get emotional. I let them know. But you keep coming around because you keep coming back. You know this friend is talking and saying stuff to you about your appearance you don't like, but instead of giving a consequence, just like you would do a child, stay away from this person. Stop answering the phone calls for this person. Stop liking this person's stuff on social media. Instead of giving some type of consequence, you keep going around. But they hurt you, but they haven't apologized. They haven't done anything to try to make it, to do any type of restitution. But you keep coming back around, hoping that they're going to be better this time. Why would they be better? You haven't given them an incentive to change. What I mean by that, you haven't given them a consequence. So if they can treat you like crap and keep coming back, and you keep coming back for more, why would they need to change? Huh? Y'all know at this point how the narcissist think. I always tell you, like they say, find a fool, bump his head. They find somebody they can get over on. They gonna get over on that person until they can't get nothing else out of that person. And that's just the way that they do. You know, and like I've been thinking about it, sometimes with us, why we don't understand that they're trying to hurt us, because we're sometimes living in a fantasy world. What I mean about the fantasy world is we're hoping, praying, and wishing that these people would change, even though they showed us who they are. These people have not told us that they wanted to change. Have the narcissist come to you and say, hey, I'm doing wrong. I need help. I need to go see a psychologist. I may need some psychotropic medication. I may need to go to group therapy. Something is wrong with me. No. If your narcissist came to y'all and said that, you got to let me know. I've never seen one who accepted any responsibility for any of their evil wrongdoing. So y'all just let me know in the comment section. So these people haven't come to us crying for help, admitting that they have a problem, but all of a sudden, here we go saying, well, I just can't believe that this person, right, none. I can't believe that this person is just genuinely wicked and is getting pleasure out of seeing me cry, getting pleasure out of seeing me suicidal or depressed or anxious or closed off or hypervigilant, can't trust anybody. I can't accept that, so I'm going to project my own thoughts onto this person. This person has shown me nothing but evil, but I'm going to say, oh, I know that there's good in that person. I just gotta search it out. Oh, they couldn't really meant that to call me a piece of crap, to call me a goofy and say I'm stupid and I'm a flunky and I'm this and that. Oh, they wouldn't really mean that, because nobody in their right mind would really say that about a person. Oh, they can't really be like that. Oh, yes, they can. This is where the acceptance part comes in, to accept these people as they present to us. You cannot force your way of being onto other people, y'all. Because sometimes we're like, oh, they shouldn't be that way. A mother should be this way. A father should be this way. So I'm just going to argue with them and go back and forth with them every time I get, until they understand that they should be something else. When a toxic person shows you who they are, let them be toxic. They are toxic. Of course, continue to stand up for yourself. Have some boundaries. Back away when you can. But to expect that this person should be anything other than they are, it's naive. Let me see the comment. Camille says, that's right. I see that they pick and choose who they abuse. My mother's like that, right? That lets you know that they have control over this, you know? That's why I don't try to listen to people when they're telling me, oh, well, you should have compassion on a narcissist. If it's a mental illness, then you should treat it like any other mental illness and have compassion. Look, just because they have had a committee meeting and decided to put narcissism in the DSM does not mean that I have to believe that it's really some type of mental illness. A lot of mental illnesses people cannot control. You know, they look at it as a problem. If you talk to somebody depressed, most times they don't want to be depressed. They don't like that. They want to change that. You're looking at somebody that maybe have borderline personality disorder, bipolar. These people, these mental illnesses are causing great distress in their life and they don't like it. With the narcissist, it's different. They have a lot of distress in their life because they created it, but the thing is, they don't see anything wrong with it. They like it. They get a kick out of seeing how much money they can get out of somebody. They get a kick out of seeing how much they can finesse somebody. They like this. That's why they don't really go to therapy like that. Why would you go to therapy and you like who you are? You're going around finding people you think are dumb, weak, stupid, flunky, and they're too naive to understand that what you're doing to them is on purpose and that you can't stand them, that you're probably jealous of them and you're trying to destroy them, and you do all this hellish stuff to them. The only thing they haven't done is taken some boo-boo and smeared it across the face, and this person keeps coming back for more and more. Why not take advantage of this weirdo who can't get it? They were made to be taken advantage of. I'm just doing them a favor so they can stop being so stupid. That's how they think, y'all. And we out here denying all the evidence. How much more they got to do to you before you realize that these people mean this? You know? Even if they sleeping with you, sexing you every night, that doesn't mean they don't have hate for you. That don't mean that they're not jealous of you, that they don't want the worst for you. Come on. Let's see. The Sunflower Empress says, my mother actually says, I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me. I already know everything out of her mouth. Yes. My mom would say the same kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with her. Oh, perfect. You know, anytime you would try to talk, you know how sometimes some parents may admit when they have something wrong or did something wrong. She would never do that. She would always try to put the focus on other people to see what was wrong with them. You know, like for instance, I wasn't supposed to do this, but for grad school, we had to do the Rorschach. It's a, what is that? A mental health type of test. I don't think they still use it, where you show these pictures to people, and based on what the people think those pictures are, it says something about the person's personality. So we were supposed to go out and find all these people. I wasn't trying to do that, so I was doing it with family and neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not about to be trying to go meet no new friends and people on the street. Can I do the Rorschach psychological test on you? Forget that. Mom and sister, come on. So anyway, my sister was doing a Rorschach with me. And she said one of the cards looked like a woman's leg spread over in her vagina. Now, I should have did the test where nobody was around, but my mom was in the living room waiting because she was going to go next. So my mom was overly focused because she knew it was a mental psychological test. And if you know with these narcs, they always trying to find some weaknesses in somebody to try to get, like, put you down here and them up here. So she listening closely, like, to judge, oh, what is she saying? So then my mother turned around like, ugh, oh my God, not knowing that typically people saw that in that card. It was a typical reaction because they had showed us many different responses. And a lot of people thought that that card was a woman opening her legs with a vagina. So my sister, I talked my sister into keep going. She kept going. So when it was my mother's turn, I showed her like 10 pictures. Usually people, I think it was like out of the 10, maybe they wouldn't be able to see anything out of the 2. They like, I don't know what that is. I can't give you a name for it. I don't know. Every picture I showed my mother, she was like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't look like nothing. And then, you know, afterwards, she was still making fun of my sister. And then I told my mother, I said, well, at least she was honest with her answers. And I said, but you said you saw nothing. And I said, that shows more about you than it shows about her. Because I knew she was lying. She saw something in the pictures because everybody sees something in those pictures. She didn't want to show anything about her inner workings of her psychology. She didn't want to show any type of weakness. So, and it showed you she was so scared of something being revealed that she kept on pointing out with my sister to try to deflect and put me on to my sister, trying to, let's say that she a weird or something wrong with her. But it wasn't nothing wrong with my sister. It was my mother. You know, she was the one that was trying to hide. And that's what they do. In that moment, do you think she cared about hurting my sister's feelings, trying to make her think that she was some pervert weirdo for seeing a vagina? No, she did anything she could. My mother did anything that she could do in that moment to take that attention off of her and put it on my sister, even if it was negative attention. She like, forget that. You ain't gonna see nothing negative in me, but let's focus on her. Let's call her out for being weirdo. Something wrong with her. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Everything fine with me. You know? And even I had taken it back to my professor, I believe. Of course, I didn't say it was my mother's Rorschach test. And even the professor who had been doing those interpretation of them tests even agreed. Like, it says more about this person who wouldn't even acknowledge that they saw something in those ink blot drawings. So, you know, they do all kind of stuff. Let's see. The Sunflower Empress says most people with true mental illness want to heal. Yes, they want to heal. They want to help that. You know, I had bad anxiety, you know, when I was in college and younger, social anxiety, all kind of stuff. And I did not like that. I hated that. It made me dislike myself and hate parts of myself, feeling that I was weak, staying in a room a lot in my dorm room. You know, I didn't like that. I wanted to change. You know, I had panic attacks real bad when I was in college, just because a lot of fear that I constantly allowed to play over in my mind. Did I like that? Hex, no, I didn't like that. I would have paid anything to get those that stuff off me, but not these narcissists. They're okay with that. And if they're okay with it, guess what? Why aren't you okay with them being okay with it? That don't mean allow them to abuse you. It just means that stop trying to pretend that these people are not who they portray themselves to be. It is their right to be as toxic as they want to be, you know? Let's see. Someone says, I think they abuse others to run from self, to run from their misery they feel within. Right. That's what they do. I think a lot of them are super angry with their parents. They're angry with somebody, and they refuse to let that anger go. And so they try to take it out on other people. I also look at them as bullies. A lot of them, they try to see who they can bully and get over on to lash out that pain, because for some reason, because they won't allow themselves to heal. That's why I like that whoever came up with that saying, like, the first step of healing is acknowledging you're having a problem. But these people don't acknowledge that they have a problem. So of course they can't heal, because if you have that mindset, I'm perfect, everything is right with me, other people are the people that's in the wrong, I'm good, I'm just the best, I'm the most talented, I'm the most beautiful, I'm the smartest. If you're all so full of yourself, then of course you can't acknowledge that there's a problem. And that's why they can't let go of that pain. These people have been truly hurt, damaged, I think ignored in their life, feeling abandoned, and they decide that they want to lash out and hurt other people. And some people who are naive will come along and say, well, Samyra, if you know that these people experienced trauma, they were probably abandoned, probably hurt, something may have contributed to this. Well, why don't you have more compassion? I'm glad you asked. The reason I don't have the compassion for them is because it is a choice. Because all of us here, the 9 people, or however many of us are in here right now, and thank you all for them thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so, have experienced some type of trauma. And we have decided that we were not going to be abusers. Have I ever thought about it? Have I ever done somebody wrong and I knew I was doing it wrong? Yes. I could have decided to continue to be that type of person, but I made the conscious decision and said, I don't want to live this way. God has better for me. There's going to be a karma reaction, or whatever I seize, I plant, I will reap that. So if I'm doing wrong to others, I understand it's going to come back to me. I will not be able to live evil and do evil and wicked against others and come out of this life unscathed. I decided I did not want to be that type of person. You know, and these people have made the other decision that they want to be that type of person. They probably were victimized and they decided, well, they're going to victimize and do other people dirty, and then they justify it by saying that, oh, the person shouldn't be dumb, the person shouldn't be naive, and I'm just doing them dirty and giving them hell because life needs to teach them that they need to be better and they need to stand up for themselves and they need to stop thinking that everything is sweet in this world and stop thinking everybody got their best intentions in this world. So they justify themselves like that. But even though they justify themselves, is some truth in that. What I mean is that, have you noticed that you may continue to attract the same type of people? They got a different face, a different body type, different skin color, maybe different hair color, different hairstyle, wear different earrings, you know, got different gym shoes on. But this is the same type of person, a narcissist. And maybe there is a lesson that we need to learn. There was a point in my life that every time I turned around, it seemed like there was a new narcissist. As soon as I get to know a person, oh, turn out to be a narcissist. Oh, get to know this one, oh, another narcissist. Oh, go to job, get a job, a narcissist. Oh, stop that job because of the narcissist, go to a new one, a narcissist. Leave that job because sick of the narcissist, go a narcissist. And I started wondering, why am I seeing? According to psychology, the narcissists in a population, and I know this number may be wrong, is what, 10% or less? And I'm like, how is it that 80% of the people I'm meeting are narcissists, but in the total population, it's 10% or less? Then I started looking at it as a more spiritual thing, that I'm continuing to attract all these people who are trying to hurt and destroy me because maybe, just maybe, and you can agree or disagree, that there was lessons that we needed to learn. True enough, I needed to learn to stand up for myself. I needed to learn to love myself enough to the point that I said, look, this person done me wrong once, twice. I need to get out of this. I need to stop having faith that this person is going to do good. The reason a lot of us get tricked is because when a narcissist, of course, when they first come through, the devil not going to come through with horns and with looking, they're going to come through all nice. Oh, hey, how are you? Can I do something for you? Oh, can I help? Let me carry your books. Let me do this for you. Oh, do you need a ride? Oh, let me help you with your groceries. Oh, I can help you with that loan. Oh, so you won't be evicted. All kind of stuff. Why? Because if they came to you pushing and slapping you and taking your money, stealing your car keys, spraying you with mace, you wouldn't fall for their tricks. So the game of manipulation is simple. You have to come in being nice at first to make the person think that all is good, that all is well. You know, you can't come in and show yourself. You got to make the person get relaxed. Make them trust you. You know, you got to act like you identify with them. Like they say they come from this city. Well, you can lie. This is the narcissist thinking. Oh, this person tell me they from Mississippi. And then even if I don't have the accent or whatever, I can say, oh, my family from Mississippi. And the next time you see them, before you see them, you Google a city in Mississippi. You read a few lines about it. You learn about that little place a little bit. And you go back, yeah, my family from Tucalooca, Mississippi. Yeah, it ain't many people in that city, huh? Yeah, I haven't visited in years. Or you tell them you like to ice skate. And the next thing you know, they're like, I like to ice skate too. I haven't gone in a long time. Girl, let's go together. Let's get an ice skate on. Yes. Yes. Mississippi girls for life. How I know? Because I got done like that before. You know? So they do all this stuff to identify with you. Because when they do that, then they test you. See, this is how they learn if they can hurt you or not. See, they do that testing game, y'all. They start looking for that test. Let's see, I'm gonna read the comments. Thanks, Camille, telling the people, hey guys, get them thumbs up. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. Says she has 11 peeps watching and only 2 likes. Only 2 likes? If y'all don't stop playing, is this my narcissistic family in here that's not liking this video? Y'all better stop playing with me and give me some likes. Y'all stop playing with me, narcs, because y'all know if y'all narcs in the comment in the section or whatever, because y'all know I'm telling the truth. At least thumb it up because I'm telling the truth. So anyway, so yeah, so they start doing this testing because they know everybody not gonna put up with their crap, but they gotta test you. How the testing go, y'all? Like this, the testing go like this. They'll say something a little snarky, a little smart to you and see how you gonna respond. See, and you gotta start trusting them gut instincts. When people say something to you, and I don't know about y'all, but I get something in my belly. It's like my stomach do something like that. That's that sign that, uh-oh, something wrong just happened here. And if you don't check it, it's gonna keep going and it's gonna get worse. That's what that little thing in your stomach that jump when somebody say or do something to you, it let you know, uh-oh, red flag, it like, something wrong. Woo, danger, danger, danger. Whatever the danger signal I'm doing, it is danger. That sign lets you know something is wrong, okay? Yes, that's God, the Holy Spirit, talking through your gut. You're right, Sunflower Empress, letting you know that something is wrong. But some of us ignore it. Why? Because we're sitting back thinking, nobody's trying to hurt me on purpose. Nobody would do nothing like that. It's people all good and I just got to find a good spot in him. I just ain't looked hard enough. Forgive them for they don't know what they do. And that kind of stupid thinking is why you're being abused if that is you. I'm telling you, God, I'm in here hot. Feel like the hot flash, the night sweats. I tell y'all, I'm of a certain age. I've been in menopause since the 20s though, so. But then I can't blame it on age, y'all. If y'all want to send me some black cohosh herbs in the mail for hormonal issues, I'm accepting. I'm just playing. But that is good if you have night sweats or what is that? Hot flashes. But it's hot. I'm gonna see if I turn this fan on. Y'all, it's Los Angeles. I can't be in here hot like this. Y'all let me know if y'all can't hear. I'm in here struggling. Especially if y'all ain't gonna give me no likes either. I'm gonna turn this fan on. I ain't about to be hot and giving all my knowledge and can't get some likes. So raspberry leaf. You know what? I got some raspberry tea, but it's in the bag. It just said raspberry tea. I don't know why I had like one tea. I drank it once and that was it. Something about me with tea, I don't know about y'all. I be wanting to be a big tea drinker. I got like, with the leaf, I got like 5 boxes of tea in the kitchen and I will like hardly ever drink them. I don't know what it is about me and tea. It's like I don't be feeling like brewing it and it only take like 3 minutes. Y'all help pray for me. Send a word of kindness for me. So good for the hormones. Yeah, I'm gonna have to test that out because I'm telling y'all, Anyway, but yeah, so these narcissists, before they do this full-on campaign to destroy you, they try to feel you out. So they may say something like let's say if you got kids and your kids are play fighting or whatever, they're like, oh my goodness, my kids would never dare to do nothing like that with me, but you know, kids only do what you allow them to do and they disrespect who allow it. Now you know that's a shot at you, right? Come on. You know that's a shot at your parenting. Now if you getting to the point you are justifying, but I'm doing the best I can do as a mom and I'm a single mom and all frantic and because you really a nice person and you really want to be a good mom, and you probably got an insecurity like most moms do about, am I doing enough for my kids? You know, can I be a better mom? Most parents, even when I do like parenting groups, most parents who they tell, seem to me that they're doing the best job, they mostly, the women still have an insecurity about being a parent. So nurse notice that women are insecure about being a parent. So that's where they throw that jab to see if they can get you. Now, they did it. Now, truthfully, what you can do is stand up and be like, you know what? I take my parenting role real seriously. And you're not the person that I go to for parenting. So don't make comments like that about my parenting. You know, and leave it alone. If they push up again, you let the person say again. And call their name. If their name is Reese, and this lets a person know you're serious. You know, don't be having your head over here shaking. Ground yourself. Put your chest back, whatever, and look at the person. Lean in a little bit. Reese, I take my parenting seriously. You're not the person that I go to for parenting advice. Don't give me parenting advice unless I ask you. And let's say if Reese's like, well, I was just trying to help because it's clear that they're disrespectful. Reese, you're not the person that I go to for parenting advice. Back off. Reese, I'm sure you can understand that, right? Reese, you're repeating their names. This giving you more authority in the conversation. You're repeating their names. I don't care if you scared and you shaking and you trembling. I ain't always the boldest, but you better learn how to do it scared. Now you may say, oh my God, Samyra, what if they smack me? If you're at a spot you're not going to go to jail, what you think? You better smack them back. Oh, Samyra, what if they yell? You can get up and leave. You can yell back. You can get up and leave. But what you don't want to do, at least I see it, is acting like, oh, then this is how a lot of us lose. Because this person disrespected you several times. You had told her, Reese, and Reese just keeps on going on, thinking they know better than you, trying to control you, trying to tell you what parent you need to be. Reese clearly don't give a dang on about you, don't respect you, because if so, the first time they said that, if Reese respected you, Reese would have been like, dang, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do that no more. We good? Something like that. If you don't get a response like that or something similar to it, why go around Reese again? Because if you go around Reese again, this is what Reese thinking, because Reese a narcissist. Reese like, oh, dang, I straight up said some disrespectful stuff to her. I kept standing on my square being disrespectful. I didn't apologize. I didn't show nothing that I even cared that I was doing wrong. And then when I called her the next day, she answered. She back hanging with me, I ain't acknowledged nothing. And she acting like it's all good. She's stupid as hell. Now, play with me if you want. You better know that our fake character Reese is thinking like that, okay? See, these is where they trying to see, can they hurt you? Are you gullible enough to keep on and deny it? Because you may go home. Then, if you're a nice person, you feeling bad. And your talk will go something like this. Maybe I was too hard on Reese. I'm sure me and Reese been cool up until that point. You know, I know Reese just meant the best, man. Maybe I do need some parenting advice. You know, my family ain't around to give me advice. Baby daddy ain't around to help. You know, his family sometime and don't come see the kids. You know, Reese been a nice person and we've been having fun and jokes. So I was just being too mean, and Reese ain't like that. Reese ain't trying to hurt my feelings. I need to stop being sensitive. My narc parents always called me sensitive anyway. My narc parents always told me I need to grow up and get some tougher skin anyway. So, you know, Reese all good. So let me call Reese. Reese, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was tripping. You were right. I was wrong. I'm just going to be the bigger person because I need to forgive and you don't know what you do, and I can't be holding no unforgiveness, because that's what the pastor said. No, we don't read the Bible at all. We just, my pastor just give one scripture and then he give a big motivational sermon afterwards. But I do know he did say to forgive and don't hold no resentment, and so we cool, Reese. Then you wonder why Reese gonna keep doing you wrong. Now Reese got all the information that she needs to keep doing you wrong, because you just told her so. Let's see. Isis, thank you for commenting. You says my sister-in-law calls herself a natural screamer. Oh, that's new. I never heard of that. She doesn't hit her kids and thinks she broke the generational trauma by yelling. I don't know. You know, I guess. Let's see, the Sunflower Empress. My child is loved, protected, and respected. My mother hates it. Don't, LOL, don't care. Run up, lady. That's the thing, we got to get bolder, you know. If you're raising your child the way you want to raise your child, then it shouldn't matter or what other people are saying. If you're doing you, however you like to dress, how you like to wear your hair, what type of earrings you like to wear or you don't wear, if you want to wear makeup, you don't want to wear the makeup, it's just being confident in what you like and what you don't, because these narcissists, when they're trying to get at you in a negative way, they're looking for you to where you're insecure at, you know. In some way, sometimes how they learn to hurt you, because they're looking for ways to get in to hurt you, is that a lot of times women talk too much. We don't know people for 3 weeks, a month, or nothing. We tell them everything. I used to let people know that, even about my weight. Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to diet. Oh my God, I need to lose weight. Oh my God, I need to do this for exercise. Oh my God, I'm trying this new diet. And then I get mad when the narcissist will use it against me. But I was setting myself up. Why are we always talking? Thinking we gotta let everybody know every little thing that goes around in our brain. Some stuff is best used, you know, to get you a dang on notepad and a journal and write you some stuff down. Instead of having to tell people everything, we giving people a playbook on how to come in and hurt us. Yes, just right. Sometimes shut up. You know, you don't even know this person and you're telling them everything. Oh, and you wonder why Reese felt it was okay to come in and test you about your child. Because you don't barely probably even know Reese, and like, oh yeah, the baby daddy, he ain't around, he ain't in nothing, he ain't nothing, he on the corner trapping, he on the corner, he a shooter, he a dope boy, he don't come around, he don't do this, I don't have support, it's just me against, my baby against the world, like Tupac. You know, we just talking and talking. I don't know if I'm a good enough mother. I just try to do my best, but I just want so much for Travion, and I hope one day he grow up to understand I'm doing my best, but I'm so insecure as a mom. And we're doing that, and Reese sitting back taking notes, y'all. Where's my little pen? Here you go, y'all. Give me a little second. Reese don't actually have a past. She probably got one at home. Writing stuff down, huh? Okay. Insecure parent. Absent baby daddy. No support from parents. Okay. Feels all alone. So yeah, she's gonna stay around for a long time because she feels alone, and she's going to take whatever crap I give her because she don't want to be by herself, and she don't like going to the movies by just her and her baby, and she don't like going to get her nails and hair done by herself, just her and the baby. So she's going to put up with my crap because she would prefer to be, yes, a perfect target, thank you, Sunflower Empress, than to be alone. So yeah, I'm going to do her wrong. Then the person that's hanging out with Reese, now she's about to start seeing the change in Reese. See, first, like I said, the way you wheel a person in to your trap of evil is you start off being nice. Then you listen. Where's this person's weaknesses? You listen, you take notes. You can pretend to be everything they think they're missing. This person is lonely. You step in. You want to go with her to get her hair and nails done because you heard her say she don't like to go by herself. So you're going to be everything she's missing. She doesn't have that support group. So you listen to her stories about her family. You listen to her complain and nag, bitch and moan. You pretend you're interested. Why? Because you're about to jab this person real good in a minute. You see? And Reese gonna keep coming around. There may be some things she likes about you. A lot of narcissists are jealous. She may be comparing herself to you. You know, it's a reason she called, you know, got you to be a friend anyway. Because she may like how you do your hair. She may like how smart you are. You're business minded. You may be a really good parent. There was something in you that is lacking in her. And she was at first really in awe of you, probably watching you from a distance before she even approached you to see who you are. And then she come up to you and then that admiration turns into that jealousy, and that jealousy turns into that deep-seated anger. And then they want to hurt you. You know, so now she came around and she figured like she ain't got time to be with her little son, little Mikey, as much as you are with Travion, honey. Little Reese need to be at the club and dropping it low and shaking her booty cheeks around that pole, honey. She ain't got time to be doing everything that you doing with your little son. So now she gonna try to hate on you with that, okay? Because in her head, you trying to be the better mama than she is, and she ain't gonna let you outdo her. So now you hard Reese, you accept the responsibility. So now you thinking y'all all good. Now you notice that every time little Reese come around, she got something negative to say. If she know you insecure about, maybe you got a lazy eye or something, she gonna make something every time you turn around. She got something to say about your eye. Do you think she don't know what she doing? You got to be out your mind. I'm gonna tell you this. Look, my little notepad. She heard you say, "Oh, my lazy eye. I'm so insecure about it. I think people looking at it. I think they laughing." She write it down. Lazy eye, insecurity. Yeah. So every time now she come around you, she got two things against you now: your fear of being a bad mom, and your eye. And I don't know what the correct term is for lazy eye. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what it is, y'all. So now she come around and she talking about your eye. She mentioned like, how long your eye been like that? I'm sure it's hard for you to date with your eye like that. And you may tell her like, again, something in your stomach, the God, Holy Spirit, whatever you call it. It's like, something's wrong. What is she doing? She's not being nice. Even though your God, the Holy Spirit, your gut know that Reese not being nice. Something that in you is telling you what it is, but you go against it. You don't trust yourself. Your parents, your caregivers, foster parents, whoever taught you not to trust yourself. So instead of trusting that you need to back off from Reese because your stomach keep on jumping. You don't know what it is in Reese, but something in you telling you something wrong. But instead of listening to the God within, you start minimizing yourself. Oh, I'm probably wrong. Oh, I gotta get other people to tell me that my gut is right. I gotta get a news conference to tell me what the God within has already told me. Y'all better stop playing with me. Y'all know that's true. And so now every time, so you tell Reese, you stand up for yourself. Reese, I don't like talking about my eye. Please don't talk about my eye. And instead of Reese being a decent human being to stop, Reese's not. Why? Because Reese is not a decent human being. Ta-da! I hate to be the one to tell you. Did anybody guess that? $300 if you've already guessed that Reese is not a decent human being. Reese wants to see you suffer because Reese is jealous of you. Reese can't stand your tail, and she's trying to do everything to piss you off that she can. So yeah, so now, and then when you get all upset and you're blinking and you stop shaking because Reese talked about your eye, Reese really know like, yes, that's a good one. I got them now. I really know what makes them upset. They're looking to see how to pack the best punch. They don't want to just do you a little bit. They want to knock you out clean with their verbal words. So now Reese knows she got it. So instead of you leaving Reese alone, like, dang, Reese done said something about my parenting and she went back off. Now she's talking about my lazy eye. I told her I don't like it. Basically, she said, forgive me. And instead of you not going around, you keep going back around. And you're going to notice. And that now, because Reese is such a expert manipulator, she's been manipulating since she came out the womb. Okay, so since Reese is an expert narcissist, what she's going to do is every now and again she's going to sprinkle like a little fairy dust of niceness on you. Why? Because if you're mean all the time, the person not going to stay and get this abuse. So you got to be nice sometime. No, you ain't got to be nice too much because you found somebody naive who don't love themselves. So you ain't got to be too nice to them. Just give them a little bit of niceness, and that's going to confuse them because they see that little bit of niceness, then they forget about all the horrible, and they're like, but Reese is nice to me once every 45 days. That must mean she's good and not mean and to hurt me. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So sometimes we got to take some personal accountability that if we continuing to put ourselves in these situations. And you can run to relationship, but and run. But if you don't learn how to spot this stuff and then how to properly deal with it by cutting these people off, saying enough is enough, then you're just going to probably, this is what happened to me, continue to meet other narcissists, other toxic or dysfunctional people, because not everybody that's toxic or dysfunctional is a narcissist. You're going to keep meeting these people until you learn your lesson, that you are better than what you're accepting, and that you can have boundaries, but you have to enforce those boundaries. Like some people will tell me, the reason for still hanging out for little Reese, like, well, I did stand up for myself, but did you give any consequences to Reese? Did you follow through? Just saying don't do that means nothing if you're not willing to give a consequence and stand on it. And the reason why I say stand on it, because a lot of times I talk to people and they say, well, I do have consequences, but I said, are you enforcing them? Oh, well, no. Okay, well, that's why you continue to be hurt. Angela says, I had a 25-year plus year like Reese who used to criticize my parents, and finally I had enough and kicked her out of my life. Yeah, this is what these people will do. They know exactly what they're doing, Like I told y'all, with some of the narc friends I had, like, I lived with one was my roommate. She would have other friends because she didn't have a lot of friends come over all the time. But when she did and they was around, oh, she was nice to them. Like she was constantly critical of me when we were by ourselves, or she would say it in a way around other people that didn't look critical, but I knew it was because it was something that I told her in private that I didn't want to talk about, but she was talking to them, not criticizing them. She would criticize my hair, the clothes I wore, the way I walked while exercising. She would criticize my earrings, like everything under the sun. Her sisters would come around. She wasn't doing them like that. So I was like, oh, she turned it on for me, because even though I would stand up for myself, I kept forgiving her over and over and over again when she never owned up to anything she was doing. She constantly pretended to be stupid, like, now, I don't know why you're so upset about that. Oh, it's like walking on eggshells with you, Samyra, and I don't like that. What? But see, my problem is that I would remember the good times we had in the friendship, and so I would ignore all the bad. The thing is, we have to examine everything on the table. These people who keep doing bad need to be discarded if we can. Now, if you're co-parenting with somebody, maybe you can't. Maybe it's not that simple for you. But if this is just some type of friend, you can cut this person off. You know what I'm saying? Even with certain family members, it may not be easy to cut them off, especially if you're living with them, you're financially dependent upon them. But when you can get away from these people, you can. Even if you live with somebody who doing this, like how I messed up with her, even though I have to see her all the time, what I was doing was still like we would like hang out, maybe go get a drink or something, or I would lay up on the couch and watch TV with her. I shouldn't have been doing none of that. Ain't no going out to get nothing to drink, ain't no going to get you nothing to eat. It's just a hello, it's a goodbye, here go my rent, here go my half on this, and that's it. And it took me a long time, about 5 months, to get to that point. And eventually I did. That I would just come in, hey, and bye. I would put on my earphones to clearly let her know that I was not about to talk with her. Me and her would go exercising together, like at the beach, we're in LA, or we'll go around the neighborhood where we stay and walk together. I cut all that out. And it took me a while to get to that point. Like, I'm done. Just because I live with you don't mean I got to have conversations with you. I'm paying what I pay, and that's it. You know, so you got to be able to put your foot down and stand on that. Because I realized that that friend was not ignorant, that she had no mental or cognitive issues that was stopping her from understanding that she was hurting me. She had known that she was hurting me, and she chose to hurt me. At that point, it was a choice for her. And it was a choice for me at a certain point that I decided to keep allowing that to happen and going back and forth with her like nothing had even happened. And look, and I'm going to say this, like I told you all, the reason that I was inspired to do this video, because another lady who I subscribed to was talking about narcissism, and somebody with Jesus in the title of her the YouTube name came in talking about forgive them for they know not what they do. First of all, for people, when that was said in the scripture, you have to look at the context of that. Jesus was saying to the Father God to forgive these people. They don't know what they do. That was talking about Jesus. That was not talking about the rest of the world. The people who crucified him did not know that they were really crucifying God on earth in the form of Jesus. They did not know that. Because if they did, they would not have crucified God. These Pharisees and Sadducees, these religious leaders, the people of Israel, Jerusalem of that day, they would not have talked the Romans into crucifying him. Now, Jesus, you may say, well, Samyra, they did know who he was. Jesus told them, and that's why they hated him. Yes, he told them, but they didn't believe him. That's why they were trying to throw rocks and push him off cliffs and trying to kill him. That's why he couldn't move about freely, because they wanted to kill him because they thought he was lying. This is why they were so mad at him, because he was telling them he was God in the flesh on earth, and they didn't believe him. So when he says they don't know what they do, that was true. They did not know they were crucifying God on earth. They thought, this is the child of Joseph. This is the child of Mary. He grew up around the corner from us. He went to the same school as us. We know him. He wasn't acting like this before he got to 30-something. Now all of a sudden he 30-something. Now he God. Acting like he ain't grow up around us, like we ain't had the same babysitter, like he wasn't in Miss Benjamin class with us. You know, stuff like that. So you know, just like you got some greatness in you, the people around you who you think that's gonna support, not gonna support, because they gonna think you just little Jenny from the block, you just little Samyra they went to school with. You know, they not gonna see your greatness. That's why even the Bible say a prophet is not respected in their own town or city. That's why Jesus wasn't able to do well and do many miracles around the people he was grew up around, because he was too familiar to them. Oh, I know Jesus. He ain't on nothing. He ain't about nothing. But if you go somewhere far where people don't know you, it's more respect. Because that familiarity breeds contempt. People who think they know you get too familiar with you, and they don't appreciate you as much. You know, they don't really care about you as much. That's why it'd be hard to get people to subscribe, watch the video to the end, to like it, because people start to think, oh, they know you. That's just Samyra. I ain't got to like her video. I ain't got to subscribe. I ain't got to donate to her Cash App. $ TellSamyra. Again, $ TellSamyra, capital T, capital S, if you want to donate to this channel. You know, people get familiar with you, and when they get too familiar, they don't want to be around you. And that's why sometimes absence increases respect. Once you're respected in a certain circle and people like you and whatever want to be around you, sometimes it's good not to go to every party. It's good not to answer the calls all the time, because people start getting too familiar with you and start disrespecting you. So I said all that to say that is why Jesus said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because if they knew who he truly was, they would have not crucified him under no circumstance. They have been waiting on his return forever. They have in the scriptures prophesied of him coming. He was who they was looking for, but he didn't come being the person. They thought he was gonna come in glory, riches on, you know, looking like a real king. He came a carpenter's son, and he came born in a manger. He didn't come successful. You know, we look at the outward appearance when we're judging people, when God is looking at the heart. That's why we get all confused. So they were looking at the outward appearance versus his heart. So he was right when he said they didn't know what they do. So now for somebody today to come talking about, oh, forgive that narcissist, they didn't know what they do. Excuse me, the narcissist is not the God on the earth. Whoever they're trying to do harm to is not the God, capital G God, on the earth, and they're not crucifying, killing us, and the Son of God. It's not the same thing. So it makes clearly no sense. So people just be using scriptures totally out of context, thinking they're sounding righteous and holy, and have no idea what they're talking about. And I like that the woman whose channel I was watching had knowledge of that and was able to set that person straight. But to tell the truth, but the person was still ignorant. And I hate to say that, but sometimes you see that with certain church people. And I love God just like anybody. So if you get offended, you get offended. But like I'm saying, this ain't personal. It's just who it applied to. It's like sometimes you can get very naive people coming through talking about God, and they just be talking and don't know what the heck they mean. And how are you talking about they don't know what they do, when a lot of us who've been abused by these people truly know that these people mean what they're doing, and that they do know what they do. They sit back and rejoice. They got that narcissistic smirk. They talk about you to their flying monkeys and to your toxic other family members. They sit around and smear campaign. In order to do a smear campaign against somebody, don't you know that you got to think about that first? You got to think about all the lies you're going to create and tell to embarrass this person and give a bad taste in the mouth of other people in the family, or who's stupid enough to listen to this stuff. You know, this is all well calculated. It's methodical. It's totally thought out. Like, how can I destroy Angela in the front of our other family members? What can I say about her? What lies can I tell? Anything she told me recently that I can gossip about and add stuff to it. Because you know the narcissist is very charismatic and can be the life of the party, and can tell these great outlandish stories and get people's attention. So they're like, what about Angela can I say to make it more intriguing to lie about her? You know, these people are thinking this stuff out, you know. Come on. Or if they're taking money from you, you know, this just didn't just happen. They were planning on how to get over on you, how to manipulate you, and how to do you wrong. So yeah, this just didn't just happen by chance. And if you all have any questions, you can go ahead and ask some of the questions. Yeah, Angela says, yep, they are aware that they are hurting you. Definitely are. You know, and like I said, when we come up to the point when we realize this, the better off that we are. Because what I've learned is that sometimes those of us that have experienced trauma, narcissistic abuse, can be a bit controlling ourselves. What I mean by that is that if we see a narcissist in all of their glory, smear campaigns, lying on you, going off on you in public, cursing you out, blaming you for everything, telling you how horrible you are, how much better they are. And then we see all this wickedness in our face and we refuse to recognize it when it's in our face. But we see the wicked, and instead of calling wicked wicked, we're going to say, oh, maybe they were having a bad day. Or a bad, well, honestly, they've been treating me like this for all the 5 years I've known them. Maybe they just been having a very 5-year stint of badness or bad luck, and they're just taking it out on me because they're really not evil, even though they're showing me that every day. They're displaying it in every way, but they can't really be evil. Nobody can be evil. That is controlling. Why is that controlling? Because you're not accepting that narcissist for who they are, a narcissist. You're trying to make them something else. You're trying to project your own qualities off on this person. This person is happy to be in their narcissistic glory, but you won't admit it that they are narcissists. You're saying, oh, there's some goodness under there. I gotta show them the love of the Lord. Oh, I gotta forgive them. They don't know what they do. And this person hasn't shown any indication that they want to change, that there's a problem, that they want to do better. But here you still are. Oh no, there's something else. I know I've been seeing wicked, but no, I've been seeing wrong. I gotta be nicer. I gotta show the love of Jesus. And I bet that narcissist is just screaming inside, I am what I am. I am who I am. Accept me. Stop trying to act like I'm something else. Stop telling me I should be different. Stop telling me that I should know better now. It's 2022. There's so much information about narcissism in books, online, in movies. Stop telling me that I should be different now. I don't want to change. I don't want your therapy. I don't want individual therapy. I don't want group therapy. I don't want no type of counseling at all. I don't want to change. The narcissist is like, I'm only watching the videos about narcissism to learn to get better. And I want to know what you know so I can try to flip it and do you worse, because you're getting information from TellSamyra and other people, Dr. what is her name, Romani and Lisa Romano and Spiritual Whistleblower. You've been watching them, so I'm going to watch it to see what you've been watching so I can learn to get you, because I can't let you get from under my foot because it's been on your neck for years, and that's where I want it to stay. Come on, y'all. All right, somebody says, I think the smear campaign is the most difficult to keep up with because you can't keep up with it due to the fact that it's done apart from your presence. Oh, I don't try to keep up with the smear campaign. I let the narcissist be the narcissist. I used to when I was very insecure and wanted to clear my name of everything and trying to monitor what the narcissist was saying. Oh, no, I'm not the crazy one. It's the narcissist. It's my mother, it's her. She's making up all these lies. Please love me. See that I'm the good person and she's the bad person and all of these are lies. See, this is the importance of removing the label. See, when I had to be the good person, the saint or whatever, then it would hurt my feelings when people would see me in anything opposite of that. But when I remove those labels, oh, good, or having to be oh so holy, now that I don't have those labels, I'm not hurt when somebody says I'm not that. I don't have anything to prove. If somebody comes to me and says, oh, you know, one of the narc family members were talking about you, it's like, oh, okay. All right. And then I change the subject. Because 9 out of 10, probably the person who on the phone with you trying to act like they like you is going back to tell stuff on you too. Most of your family is probably narcissists anyway. They just setting you up with the person you think that's kind of cool because they know that the full-blown narcissist who you had the arguments with and totally fell out and blocked on social media, no, they can't call you. So they send somebody in who you still think that is on your side but ain't. just to collect information. So they come in and tell you. Now, of course, they don't tell you what led up to that conversation about your name being smeared. They don't tell you what they said about you, or if they even tried to defend you at this smear campaign that was going on. So yeah, no, I don't do that. That even shows insecurity. When the point, I forget who was this Robert Greene? It was somebody said, and I agree with this, when you're too adamant about clearing up your name, you look weak. You do. You look very weak. Because somebody that's confident in who they are, they don't have that urge to keep on going, like, oh no, you know, overly justifying themselves. I would never do this because in this year I did that, and that year I did that, and my character is this, and my character is that, and da-da-da-da-da-da. You may say something one time and with a, you know, heavy blow or something about whatever it is, and then you back off about it. But that person who has to keep explaining and trying to go to everybody, picking up the phone, oh, auntie, I heard there was a smear campaign at your house, but I need to let you know my side of the story. You let me know. Does that sound like a confident person or somebody weak trying to clear up something? Then you got to call this one. Oh, uncle, I heard it was a smear campaign about me. Oh, no, they said that I did this, but that wasn't true because I really did this. Then now you're calling cousin. Hey, favorite cousin, I heard it was a smear campaign, but I need to call and clear up my name. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. You think they're not all gonna get back together and they're gonna be like, girl, let me tell you, Samyra called and she seemed desperate trying to clear up her name. Then the person on the phone with them be like, oh my God, she called me too. She couldn't stop trying to defend herself and say that the other person was to blame, and that one day the family will see the truth about so and so and so, you know. And then they put a three-way in and bring up your uncle, and he like, oh yeah, I talked to her too. She just kept going on for hours and hours. I couldn't wait to get off the phone. Up here telling me how mama lying and all this kind of stuff like that. Just going back and forth. She protested too much. She must be everything her mama said. You know, they can miss me with them smear campaigns. Cat Z says, yep, if you hurt, it makes them feel like they exist. It's an addiction with the narc. Yeah, it is. They get a high off that. They love that kind of stuff. Love says, I've removed myself from the narcissist in my family, specifically my mother and two older sisters. They are like a team. They feed off each other. Yeah, they feed off each other. This is why I'm saying this hurt that they're doing, it's not a coincidence. It's on purpose. They get around other people that's toxic like them, or that's full-blown narcissists like them, and they come together with their negative meetings. I know this. As a little girl, I would go around family events and my mom would be in full-blown narcissist mode, and the toxic ones around her would be laughing and encouraging her as she's going off on me. I'm crying and pouring down tears as a girl or a teenager or whatever, and I'm clearly hurt. Do you think anybody in those dang on settings cared about me? They were laughing and encouraging my mother. Ooh, 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 ooh. And she would be telling all these embarrassing stories about me, some true, some made up, some true but embellished. And she would be telling them, they'd be like, oh my God, ooh, oh my God, tell us, girl. Ooh, ha ha, yeah, ooh. They support one another in this evil. They were all as guilty as she was, but they did it because they're nasty and they're negative. And for us to be naive and gullible, acting like goofies, like we don't realize what's going on. Oh, I must be wrong. I misjudge. I gotta be more like Christ. I gotta judge right. And I know I just gotta sit. I know God has sent me to break the change in my family and the generational curse. I gotta break it, and I gotta let them know they're wrong and tell them to come to Jesus and build up our family and watch Samyra channel and learn and stop being a narcissist. Stop being toxic. We got to stop being controlling and accept that these people are truly who these people are. You know? Kat Z says, yep, my mother was a user too. My mother used me as her garbage bin. She would do horrible things and then say, I did it. Yeah, total projection. And for this projection, they know what they're doing with that. This is not just by accident. If you have encountered a narcissist, if you believe it in the spiritual realm, I know I do, you have crossed one of the biggest devils in this world, I think. The only thing they don't do is probably, and some of them kill too, actually physically kill. But I know a lot of them actually try to kill and destroy a person. Some of them would be okay if you were in a freaking mental institution. If they could get you to that point to kill yourself, to be on a 72-hour hold with a straight jacket, if they still put those on people in the inpatient wards, they really would like to see you down. And that would make them happy. You know what they would do? They would just talk about you. Oh my goodness, that person is so weak. And in their mind, they'd be like, yeah, they're so weak. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe they would let somebody drive them to suicide, drive them to a suicide attempt. Like, oh my God, I'm just totally sent here to bring that weakness up out of them. Even if they got to kill themselves, well, survival of the fittest. Apparently they weren't fit enough to go through mental abuse, and God took them out because they were the weak. And Darwin says we got to get rid of the weak ones. They weren't meant to be alive anyway. My mother is a master covert narcissist, and my older sister is a master overt narcissist, and my other sister is still in training. The fact is they are family, but family from a distance, no contact. Yeah. You gotta do whatever it is that's best for you. Some of these family members want to go around, and I talked about this before about the narcissistic sympathizers. Some of these family members want you to go around talking about, oh, family is all you got, and there's blood is thicker than water. They give you all these crazy excuses, and they do that because a lot of them are narcissists, and they want you to keep staying around for the abuse. Some of them don't want to deal with the narcissist that's abusing you, so they know if you come around and you still naive and gullible and think that everybody got good in them, you're gonna be putting up with the crap that they don't have to put up with. So they ain't got to put up with the narcissist because now they got you, the scapegoat, who the other family member can walk all over you, and now the other people in the family who don't want to deal with the narcissist, they ain't got to deal with them because you back in the life, and everybody know everybody can walk over you and you ain't gonna do a dang thing. So hey, now they ain't got to deal with the narc. So of course they want you to come back. Of course they're telling you all this dumb stuff. Like I say, I'm not listening to nothing. These people tell you, but this is your mom, this is your father, this is your sisters. You shouldn't be this way. Grandma's rolling over in her grave. Lord, let grandma keep rolling over in her grave, because you and grandma got me messed up if you think I'm about to continue to be somebody's dang on whooping boy or whatever it's called. Because I'm not about to do it. So forget you, forget grandma, forget everybody who think I'm about to be abused, because it ain't going on no more. When I was once naive, and now I am no longer that. So any goofy who think I'm about to be in those roles of being done in and hurt, and I know it, somebody hurt me on purpose, I'm not staying for it. Because I look at it like this. Our life is like a movie. Once you get a certain age, you can determine who in your movie. Now, you probably can't determine it if you are financially dependent on your family. But once you get to the point you fully grown, you can pay your rent or stay with somebody and pay rent, stay in the attic, whatever, basement, whatever you need to do. You out of your family home. You ain't got to trust them to pay none of your bills. You can do your own car payment. You do not have to have these people casted in your life. Now, if I'm the star in my movie, and you should be the star in your movie. If there's anybody in my movie that's not playing the roles that I would like them to play, meaning mutual respect, kindness, patience, gentleness, being a nice, cheerful giver, reciprocity, then those people get cut from my movie. Cut from no phone calls, cut from me, cut from my social media, cut in any way I choose to. Minimizing the abuse that I went through, gaslighting me. These people are cut out of my role. And then when I'm ready to have other people audition to be in my movie, where I am the freaking HNIC, the star of the dang on show, I audition them, and if I like what I see, I bring them in temporarily, get to know these people, asking more questions than I am telling, but not being so withdrawn and not answering questions that I look like I'm, you know, something wrong with me. But I'm getting to know these people. And then if I see that these people are what I want them to be, kind, gentle, givers, things of that nature, then I give them better roles in my movie. You know, they can be recurring cast members. But when they act up, put them on the timeout. Oh, we don't see this person in the episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 because they done messed up. And then try again. Oh, they messed up again, so now they ain't in episodes 10 through on. Now that they killed, you know, just like they killed Ghost and Power, you know, gone or whatever. Hey, this is your life. You have the right to decide to choose. So I say, that's why I can't have much sympathy for adults of over a certain age telling me, oh, this is doing this and my mother this one's doing this. Like I said, of a certain age. I'm not talking to people, young people that still depending on their families and stuff like that in college, and I'm not talking to that. But if you're a certain age, sometimes you got to get out of your parents' house. You know, this person love to see you hurt. They love to go off on you. They love to make you cry. They love to turn people against you. And you complaining, my mom's a narcissist, and you 40 still living in the house. Get your out of your damn parents' house. If you got to freaking sleep in your car, go do it. You got to go to a homeless shelter. Go do it. Sometimes we don't like to be uncomfortable. But you got to do what you got to do to get out of those dang situations that's no good for you anymore. You know? You got to work a job or two. You got to start a business or get a YouTube channel and try to get that monetized. Do you braid hair? Do you babysit? What do you do? Can you work from home? Can you offer online counseling? What can you do to bring some type of money in where you're not dependent on these? And even if you're young in your 20s, you want to do something where you're not so dependent on these narcissists, because I'm like, you know, we can't just be dependent on them and then complaining like they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. Okay, well, get your money up so you can make some distance away from people. That's just how I think about it. Let's see. Love JJ says, and the manipulation from them is at an all-time high. They are good at what they do and how they manipulate. Yeah, they're good at what they do. Because that's shaking my head. He says, because that's their nature. They've been practicing this, you know. They've been bullying since the little, kindergarten, you know. Narcissism, I have to look. I think, does it say if it starts at a certain age? I'm not sure. I have to look at the DSM. But I met a 9-year-old one time. And I'm gonna go after this. Again, if you haven't liked, go ahead and like this video, subscribe after this video. You don't want to miss this story because this is good. I'm gonna tell you why I stopped being a behavior therapist for children that have autism and different emotional disturbances. Go ahead and get my books off Amazon. If you would like signed copies, hit me up at TellSamyra123@gmail.com. You can find that email again, TellSamyra123@gmail.com. You can get a signed copy from me. I Should Have Worn a Curtain, a novella, part 1. Novella just means they're shorter than regular novels, and part 2. Or you can get my first full-length novel, which is Road to Malevolence. The links are in the description. You can get them from Amazon, signed copies from me. Or if you like to do ebooks, you can find them on Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. Again, the link in the description. You want to do a session with me. Like I said, I have a background in clinical psychology. I have a doctorate degree in clinical psychology. I've worked in the field for years, and I've also experienced narcissism with family members, friends, bosses, you name it. If there was a narcissist in my city, chances are I found them. But it doesn't happen like that much anymore. You know, I run up against some, and now because I've learned how to deal with them and not giving facial expressions, they don't really bother me like that, because one thing about them, they try to see if they're having a negative effect, if they're hurting you, because they read the body language. Have y'all noticed that? I used to notice my mother would constantly be staring at me, and I was always wondering, like, why is she staring when she's saying crazy stuff? And she was staring to see, battery going low. what type of effect that my mother would be staring to see what type of effect she was having on me. Like, oh, am I really getting under her skin? Am I really making her mad? Is this comment really going to make her cry? Is this comment going to make her feel bad about themselves? See, this is why I said they know what they're doing, because they're checking you out on purpose. And so when I noticed that, at first I would be like, oh my God, if she says something that made me upset, they like to see you lose your composure, because a lot of us are probably more laid back. I know I am more laid back, more chill. It takes a lot to really make me angry. You know, for me to lash out on somebody, they really have to do something, because I'm just so chill, laid back like that. I don't be tripping, you know. And they know that about you, so they like to see you, because the person who has control over their body, who can still regulate their tone of voice, is the person that's in control. And the narcissist likes to be in control. So you may notice they may be going off on you, cursing at you and yelling, but as soon as you started, a lot of times they will bring it down some, because now they got you right where they want you. To be angry. So now they're in control. They've changed you from happy-go-lucky to anger. They have that control of you. Like my mother told me, she can pull me like a puppet. She can make me change my mood. She can take me this way or she's actually told me that. And something was different with her eyes. I knew it was a demon talking to me. I can't explain it, believe it or not, but I knew it was the evil one talking through her. It was just like something, the wickedness, you could always see it over her face, but this day she was extra wicked, and that demon was speaking through her, because she had never like really told me her really tactics, but she told me this one. She's like, I play you just like a puppet. If I want you to go this way, you go that way. If I want to swing you that way, you go that way. I got total control over you. Something like that, she said. And when I thought about it, I said, oh my God, that's right. If I'm happy and she say something to make me upset, then all of a sudden I'm upset. If I'm already at a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is furious, I'm at a 5, she can bring me to a 10. That is control. And she told me that lets me know she knew what she was doing. Methodical, calculating. This ain't a person who don't know what they do, so forgive them. It's a person who freaking studies the art of wickedness. Even told me she had a set of books, and I never read them because it was an act of rebellion. She told me she wanted me to read them. I think she was trying to groom me to be a narcissist, actually. She was like, I want you to read them, because this will show you why I think the way I am, why I think the way I do, and why I behave the way I behave. It'll let you know all about me. And I wanted to show her that I didn't care. So I was like, oh, no, thank you. And every now and again, she'd bring up them books. And I'm telling you, I would never read them. I don't even know the name of them books. Apparently, she was studying narcissism in these books. I don't know. But you know what? I wish that dang old house didn't burn down in Gary, Indiana. Because I'm telling you, I'd break in that dang house to get them books off that shelf to see what was that. I think she was trying to train me in her ways. Talking about everything about the way she operates was in those books. Dang, I wish I would have read them books. She said, let me see. Love JJ says, yes, I have learned and experienced that narcissists are very calculated, very methodical, and they stick to the script. Yeah. He said, and Kat Z says, my mother would laugh at my pain. Yeah. Any mistakes, if I would do bad at school, laugh. And you know, now true enough, she would try to help me. Like I would ask for help. She would have to get up to go to the meal early in the morning, and my mother would stay up. Now like I say, I ain't gonna lie about no stuff. Like sometimes I talk to people and they say that like it was all bad, but it wasn't all bad. Was it more bad than good in my house? Yeah, it was. But as far as like my mother was big on education, so she would stay up all night trying to help me with work. Because at first she would just tell me, oh, you're being stupid, and blah, 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 blah. And then I would start asking her for help. And then, because I'm thinking, well, okay, you calling me names and stuff, so you going to sit here and help and give me a tutor? And she would. She got my uncle at one point to try to help me with math, because she was like, I'm going to kill somebody because she can't do math. I can't barely do math today. They didn't have no disabilities back then, but that was my disability. They probably had me in a little slow class for math. But they didn't have that back when I was going to school in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? You was just not trying to be smart in math. But she would like tell me, oh, your sisters, when you were in 4th grade, you got this grade, but now that your sisters are in 4th grade, they get way better grades than you, and they're so much smarter than you, and they can play this instrument. You can't play this instrument. You don't have no talent. You ain't as smart like us. I don't know where you came from, Samyra. You ain't gifted like me. You know, all that kind of stuff that she would say. But she did start developing more empathy regarding my grades when I would make her stay up with me all night. So she stopped thinking that I wasn't trying to do the math when she saw I just really couldn't. Because she was telling me, well, when I was in your grade, I did this and this with math. You know, she could see I was hurting and crying. You think she cared? No. Them tears made them narcissists turn it up. They like to see you in pain. If you start crying, that's why you can't let the enemy see you cry. And I'm talking about your mama and your daddy. Because they can also be your enemy, your sisters, your brother, your family, your grandma. They can be your enemies. These people treating you like crap, they're your freaking enemies. And if you let them see you crying and hurt, they would turn it up. My mother would turn it up if she saw me crying or whatever. She would go in even harder. That was her sign, like, oh, that hurt her? I'm going all in on that topic, whatever it is. Baby, they be out for blood. Don't play with these narcissists. But yeah, but she started being more sympathetic because one time I told her, I said, well, you always talking about how good you are with math. Well, then help me with this math. Okay, because I knew the math, and I don't know what's wrong with you, and I don't know who you got that from. It sure didn't come from me not being able to do good in math, because I was always good in math. Man, I sat down with her. She ain't know nothing. She did know a little bit more math than me, even though she had done it in years. But she didn't know how to do a lot of it. You know, and then I started getting a little bold. I'm like, I thought you were so good at math. Where's this A+ student? You ain't doing A+ help with me. This tutoring you do it. She be like, it been years, Samyra, since I did math. Man, get out of her. And then like it'd be like 1 in the morning almost. I'd be like, man, I'm about to go to school and cheat in the morning. Because at first I'd say that, she'd be like, you better not go to school and cheat on no math. But then once it'd be about 1 in the morning, she'd be like, all right, then just go cheat, don't get caught. I'm like, thank you. I knew how to do other stuff like English and social study. That was my stuff. So I had to learn to be smart and find the people who weren't good in social studies in English, but they were good in math. So I would let them copy off me for the classes I was good in exchange for me copying off their math. Or I started getting good and learning to advocate for myself, going to teachers, even if they ain't have no extra credit, and I start asking them, can I do stuff for extra credit? And they be like, oh, I don't do extra credit. I'm like, look, I'm struggling. My mother, we stand up to 1 o'clock. We can't do it. She ain't got no tutors for me. You sure you don't have extra credit? I can't like clean your desk, get the gum from underneath your desk, wash off your boards. I even got the meanest teacher in the school who wouldn't get nobody extra credit. She said, you come in here on lunch and me and you gonna do it. Man, I'd be nice to other people in there talking about her behind her back, pissing her off in class. She say something corny or mean to be. I used to be like, okay, yes, miss. I can't remember her name. All right, yes. I finessed that dang class. I ended up passing it with like a C or a B. But I learned to use my mouth, baby. These teachers ain't had nothing on me. I had to learn. Coming up, see, and that's the thing about narcissism. Like, I had to learn how to get what I needed and what I wanted in a type of slicker way, though. You know, I wasn't hurting nobody, finessing, getting my good grades. But I had to do what I had to do. Let's see. Kat Z says, I know this is wrong, but sometimes I imagine calling her a piece of You know what? I understand. And that's that part of that anger. I used to have that a lot. Like dreams of cussing at my mother, or dreams of hitting somebody who did me wrong, and doing all that kind of stuff. But you know what, I still have those thoughts sometimes, and when it happens, I just have to remind myself, why am I so angry? I ask that. Why am I identify it as anger. Why am I angry? And usually when I do some digging, it's because I didn't always stand up for myself, and I didn't enforce boundaries. And so I'm mad because I'm really mad at myself too a lot for not standing up for myself, for not enforcing my boundaries, you know. And sometimes I'm actually mad at the stuff that people did, because I'm not giving that an excuse for them. Some of the stuff is right for us to be mad, you know, because a lot of the things that happened to us shouldn't have been happening. And people will tell you, oh, it's not right to be mad. You shouldn't have anger. Anger is an emotion because it's true. It's nothing wrong with being angry. You know, there's righteous anger, you know, as long as we don't go out. I don't believe in like actually face-to-face cursing out a parent or something like that. I do believe that that's where the honor comes in, that I'm not going to curse the parent out. Even if she cussed me out, I'm not going to curse her out like that. I can remove myself from the situation, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. I know I have to answer to God, and that's just me. I'm just talking for me. People can agree or disagree. This is just for me, that I believe that that's where the honor comes in for me. It's like I wouldn't cuss her out, but I would move myself. I would say, don't talk to me like this. This is unacceptable and whatever, and get myself out of the way. But you know, the anger is normal. It totally is normal. Yeah, normal human reactions to weakness or abuse, right? And don't let nobody tell you that anger is wrong. I mean, we have it. I believe it's also a stage of when you're healing, is to be angry. And you can use that, I think we can use that anger for us, because if we also look at the role we played in it, because I think even as a child, there was a role I played in it. Like my grandmother told me, Samyra, your mother would stop treating you bad like that if you stopped crying, because the crying was a form of weakness. And my grandmother saw me constantly crying, and she realized my mother was a bully, and she was doing me like that because I kept crying, giving her narcissistic fuel. So even though I was a child and it was hard to control that emotion, I could have been more assertive as a child and not just always crying and just backing down and shaking and trembling at the thought of my mother. You know, that there's still some boldness that I could have had as a child, and a lot of that, you know, is just something that was some weakness in me that over time needed to come out of me, that I needed to be bolder, that I needed to be more courageous, if that makes any sense. You all have any questions? I totally forgot. Where was I going before I went there? Oh, I know I was talking about something, about my mom with the classes and stuff. But yeah, the narcissists, I think the only time they really have any really sympathy for you, I think it's sympathy, empathy. I get the two confused sometimes, but when they really have sympathy for you, it's only if they have gone through what you've gone through. If they've gone through what you've gone through, or if they can actually feel that pain. So my mother, I think that's why another reason they hurt you, because they feel like, well, they've never gone through it, so you're making too much of it and you're not being hurt anyway, or you can take more of it. You need to endure the pain. You need to grow up, be tough, and stop being weak. But when they go through it, there's a total difference. So my mother stopped being so mean to me about math because she was able to see that she was no longer as good in math as she used to be. At first, she was just coming down on me, hurting my feelings about math. But when I got her, I'm gonna have to stop this because my battery is going low. So, but when she could see that she was also struggling with the math, then that's when she got to be more understanding. Like, oh my God, it's harder than what it used to be. Oh my God. But before that, she didn't believe me. They only believe what they can experience, you know. If you stub your toe and you're hollering and screaming, they don't care. It's not their toe. But if they have to experience it, then then they can relate to that. Like, oh, it does hurt when a toe is stubbed. Now that my toe is stubbed, I do. Like for instance, they can smack you on the face, and because their face don't sting when your face is stinging, they don't believe your face is stinging. Like, oh, your face can't be stinging that bad. You need to get over it. You need to grow up. You need to be able to take a smack. But then if you turn around and smack them and now their face is stinging, they're like, oh, that did hurt. Oh, the sting. Yeah, it is stinging. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these people, they totally know what's going on. They know good and well if they face is smacked. But as long as it's not them, they can distance themselves away from it. It's like, oh, it's just you. It's just your problem. You're the one. You need to get over it. You need to do this and this and that. So that's what they do. So I hope I answered this for you all. About this question. We're on you guys, before I go, we're on the road to getting monetized. So like I said, I appreciate the people that's in here and that staying to the end. If you have not watched my other videos, go ahead and check out my other videos. I got playlists, guys. You can check out the playlist. A lot of times people ask Samyra, how do you heal from narcissism? But a lot of it, I'm always giving jewels on how to heal. So even if you think a topic you may not be too interested in, you never know. There may be a video with some information, some jewels being dropped you weren't expecting, and something you need to help here get you on that process of healing. Because I tell you this, and let me know what you all think. Oh, you're welcome, Kate Z. Says thank you, I can so relate. When I was first into learning about narcissism, oh, thank you, Angela. I'm happy you all getting something out of this. When I first understood what narcissism was and started watching videos, I soaked up the information. I was addicted to watching the videos because it was new to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't crazy. This is I don't know, an epidemic, but this is happening to other people. There's a group of people, a community, a tribe of us who can relate to this. Oh, and you know, and I listened and listened probably 6 months to a year, or probably even more than that. But after I started listening to so many videos about narcissism, I started noticing that some of my favorite people who talked about narcissism weren't really giving tips on how to move forward, how to heal, how to deal with these narcissists. And I'm like, okay, it was great for a year learning about narcissism, but how do I confront them? How do I deal with them? Do I confront them? Do I just go no contact? Do I go limited contact? I mean, what do I do? Do I stand up for myself? Do I ignore them? What do I do? And I found that that information was not readily available, or maybe I wasn't listening to the right people at that time. So when I decided to do my channel, I wanted to make it a bit different, not just saying what narcissism is. I also want to say, how do you move past narcissism? How do you heal from narcissism? And talking about the ways that maybe we contributed to those relationships, and how we can also work on ourselves to move past the relationships. Because it's easy just to say this person is a narcissist, that person is a narcissist. Why are they like that? They shouldn't be like that. They should be like how I want them to be. They should be like me, because I'm controlling too, you know. But I wanted it to be more than that. Like, hey, this is why you're going through narcissism abuse, because sometimes you're acting gullible. You're seeing the red flags, but then you're ignoring them. You keep going back for more. You're not really standing up for yourself. You're doing stuff that makes you look weak. I want to be that person to say this stuff so we can stop being in these relationships over and over again, because there comes a point where we should know how to spot narcissists and know how to move on from it. So I never just want to be just narcissist, but how can we identify and deal with these things? Anybody got any questions before I get ready to get out of here? Going once, going twice. I'm gonna give you a second to type it in, and I'm gonna see if you got any questions. I'm gonna plug up this phone real quick before this thing die on me. Y'all don't be laughing. I got like an iPhone 8. I finally bought an iPhone. I've had it for a few months, but I only bought the 8. I didn't want to spend the money for the new one, the newer one. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna give y'all a second to see if anybody has any questions before I get ready to go. All right, so I'll say this while I'm waiting for anybody to type in a question. What stood out for you for this particular live? Something that was helpful for you? What do you find that was what stood out for you in this particular live? What helped you? Anything you learned from this live will be good to know. I like to get the feedback. It keeps me going. Do they know they are a narcissist? I don't know if they know that they're actually a narcissist. It just depends if they have any you know, I think today people are using the word narcissist more than they were using it maybe 10 years or 8 years ago. So maybe some of the narcissist people are calling them narcissists now. So maybe they are researching it and learning what a narcissist is. Perhaps they know what a narcissist is, but if nobody's actually called them that, they don't have a unless that somebody diagnosed them with narcissists, they probably don't know that they are a narcissist. You know, there is the one guy on YouTube, he calls himself a self-aware narcissist, and he says he was diagnosed with narcissism, so apparently he knows he's a narcissist. I've seen a few of his videos, but I don't know. Let's see, everything you said stood out. Okay, thank you. All right. But yeah, like even with the self-aware narcissist, I found some good things about what he said in his videos, and it does sound like coming from a narcissist. But I mean, just me personally, I couldn't keep watching it because I just don't trust narcissists, because at the end of the day, there's no pill to heal narcissism. Even if they are self-aware, they are still a narcissist. Even if they're given the information that's true of narcissism, I think it's helpful to hear it, because you can hear how a narcissist thinks. But I think because so many of us have also dealt with narcissism, we don't really need to hear a narcissist talk about it. We know what it is because we dealt with the torture, we dealt with the nightmares, we can identify narcissism. And at the end of the day, a narcissist is still a narcissist. And how far can you trust a narcissist? How far I can throw one, which is not far at all. Yeah, let's see. Angela says the concrete examples on how to be assertive and stand your ground. Thank you, Angela, and everybody that's commenting. And Lady T says, I know that energy makes me sick. Yeah, you see that, and that's another thing about, like, even we use it sick. I know you probably don't mean to your stomach or your body, but that just lets us know somebody making us sick, and we have to say that we need to not be around people like that. You know, it's not good for us. Kat Z says, if they have no empathy, to me, I feel they have no soul. Right. That's what I'm saying. We're dealing with, I don't know what you call it, dark energy, demons, evil spirits, whatever it is. And these are some high-ranking demonic forces. How I know that is looking in their eyes, when the laughter, the smirks they give when they're causing you pain. What person who is actually a decent human being gets pleasure? They probably freaking get sexually aroused for making your life hell and seeing you hurt, no matter what it is. Oh, you broke your bone. Yes. Oh, you got a D or F at school. Yes, that proves I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. Oh, you failed. Woo. When are you going to fail again? Is your marriage going to fail? Is your kid going to start doing bad at school? I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to show my life is so much better than yours, because you know they're jealous. They're always competing. You know, they tell you the things that they competing and jealous about you. The thing they always poking out about you. If they're always talking about your parenting, they're jealous of you as a parent. They're always talking about your appearance. They're jealous of you as their appearance. Are they human? Ooh, you know, that's a good question. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know if they're human. That is a good question. I don't even want to lie to you, because I truly believe that Eve had two seeds, one seed of Adam and the other seed of the serpent. You know, because even the God told them what was going to happen, that with them two kids born, and if they was of the same seed, meaning the both of was of human, why would they be at odds at each other like that, Cain and Abel? Huh? Something was wrong with that Cain. He wasn't like Abel. So was he human seed? Part human, the other serpent. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go do your own research. Come to your own conclusion. But yeah, I don't know if they're human. Kat Z says, no, they sold their soul. Okay. Yeah, something's wrong. Something is wrong with these people. Because as soon as you start telling them no, as soon as you start standing up for yourself, they can't get everything they want to get out of you. These people start showing their true selves. And that's, like I said, where people get confused. Even in domestic violence relationships, where women get confused, because they're like, oh, and I'm saying women because men get abused too, but women are more, about 90% or more chance of getting abused from domestic violence than a man is. And the women will be confused. They meet this, for instance, male abuser who's a domestic violence abuser, and they're like, oh, I'm so confused because I first met him. He wined and dined me. He paid bills. He was so attentive. He was so caring. And I'm like, duh. He's not going to come and beat you up on the first date. He got to get you wrapped around his finger. He got to get you tricked. He got to get you invested in the relationship. Once you're invested, once he know you need him, once he figure out you're not the strongest person mentally, you probably don't have a good support system. You got all these insecurities. You always talking to him about your weight. You talking to him, you don't like the freckle on your face. You telling him oh, I don't know if you like me that much because I got an overbite. You pointing out every imperfection you got, so he already know you're insecure. So like, well, yeah, nobody gonna come to her rescue. She ain't got no support system. She don't like herself. She always pointing out what's wrong with her, asking me if I love her. Every time you turn around, do you love me? I know I asked you yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before, but do you love me? She doing all that weak stuff. And so, yeah, he can beat her and she'll be back. She may go off with her mama, a friend for 3 days, but soon as he texts her, hey, baby, I ain't mean that, right? I just get a little liquor in me. And it come out, but I ain't gonna do it no more. My daddy used to do that, and I hate that stuff. He used to be beating on my mama. I can't stand men that beat women. And he just beat you, but come on home. And she be like, okay. After all, he was good, and he was doing this, and he was doing that, and took me for a bologna sandwich in the park, and he even put the bologna and got it black in the middle and made the bubble rise in the middle. So, yeah. So, of course, these narcissists only gonna do what we allow, and they know they be doing that crazy making behavior. Do something nice, do something mean, do something nice, mean. It's a cycle. Even domestic violence have it. If you ain't seen this cycle, look it up. It's called the cycle of abuse, and it even works with narcissism. To me, even not non-romantic relationships. There's like the portion of you're walking on eggshells. Nothing abusive has happened. Then the abuse happens. Then there's a honeymoon phase. And then if nobody stops this cycle, it just keeps going. Walking on eggshells, the abuse happens, honeymoon phase, and it's like that. And the honeymoon phase is the reason why people get all crazy making and confused. Oh, I think the person has to be good. They did something good. Like, no, it's a cycle. It's a game. They're doing the good to keep you there. Well, all right, y'all. I'm happy you all got something out of this talk, and I will hope to see y'all next weekend. Y'all have a good week, and take care. Thank you for hanging out. Like the video, guys, if you haven't already liked it. Share this video, and yeah, leave me a comment if you haven't commented to let me know what you thought about this video. Bye.